registering your rabbits. And Beth is going to teach about how to do that, what the process is, and how you can register how you can bring your rabbit to be registered by a registrar, and what the process is.
So the first thing is it has to have a full pedigree, and there has to be weights on every rabbit on the pedigree. The rabbit that's being registered must be senior weight. You have to be an ARBA member to register a rabbit, and your membership has to be current. So when you come to me and you want me to register a rabbit, you're going to bring me the pedigree. It's going to be completely filled out. All the animals on the pedigree have to be recognized varieties by the ARBA, and the rabbit I'm looking at has to be a recognized variety with no DQs and be senior weight. And what else?
Be of high quality within the breed?
Yes, they have to be showable. They have to fit the breed standards. Then I'm going to take the pedigree, I'm going to look it over, make sure it's all good. I'm going to staple it to one of my forms and weigh your rabbit, and that will be the official registered weight. Then I'm going to take it and I'm going to put a tattoo, a clamp tattoo, in the opposite ear that the identification tattoo's in, and it's an R with a circle. Then I send the forms into ARBA and they send you back a certificate.
What are some of the most common things that you see that somebody doesn't have done to be able, like, that they come to you, they want to register their rabbit, but they can't? Like, why can't they?
So I just got my license, so I haven't officially registered a rabbit yet. But when I was working with the registrar, the most common thing is there'd be a rabbit on the pedigree without the weight.
So when you're buying rabbits and you're getting them, and if it's something that you value and you want to have your rabbit registered, make sure that when you're getting them from the that breeder, that it has those weights on there, because that is, I think, probably the most common thing that we end up having across the industry, that of why somebody isn't able to finalize their registration or isn't able to actually register their rabbits because of that.
Right. Correct. And making sure that the rabbit is DQ free and of the appropriate weight are the other two.
How many people in the crowd have registered a rabbit before? All right, there are several. Does everybody know what it means to register the rabbit? Yes? Yes? No? All right, so why does somebody register their rabbit?
So they register their rabbit, it is logged with ARBA, and it could potentially make the offspring more valuable.
And then as you have multiple rabbits on the pedigree that are registered, there's the first level, which is red. If you have that rabbit and the sire and dam are both registered, so those 3 rabbits on the pedigree, then that's a red registration. If you have the parents and then all of the grandparents registered on the pedigree, that's a red and white registration. And then if you have also the great-grandparents all registered, then that's a red, white, and blue registration. And then there's also a gold registration, which is?
Grand champions.
So all the rabbits are registered on the pedigree and they're grand champions. Which is then, as a breeder or somebody that's looking for stock, they know that line consistently produces quality animals.
Okay, last call. You can call back. Class 103, 104, 105, 106, or 107. Bring your pigs to the ring now. You're going in the ring.
One other thing of why people register their rabbits is if a rabbit has 3 legs, then what can they do with that if they bring the 3 legs and register a rabbit?
Then they pay $4 extra and they would get a grand champion certificate along with the registration.
Has anybody had those before? Yes, yes, several. All right, what other questions are there about registering a rabbit? Go ahead.
So you have to have at least.
Well, repeat the question.
So she asked the legs, when you make them a grand champion, you have to have so many juniors, so many seniors. The rule is there has to be at least one senior leg. They can be juniors, intermediates, but one has to be a senior.
110, 111, or 112. If you were called back,
You're next, Sheldon, and then
110, 111, or 112, bring your picks to the ring now.
so his question is, how many generations in the pedigree do you have to go back?
You have to have great grandparents.
Yeah. So great grandparents fully filled out. So 3 or yep, the whole thing. Yep. What other questions? Go ahead. You're next.
I am the ARBA member. I've never registered a rabbit, but I own one, and now I've switched breeds. How can I get started? Like, would I have to start weighing rabbits throughout the litters before I get to the 7th grade?
Yeah. Unless the person that you bought your core stock from has weights.
So your question was that if you wanted to start registering your rabbits, how would you do it if there weren't weights on the pedigree? So if the breeder didn't provide them, then you would be starting from that first generation, then continue to work forward if they aren't fully filled out.
Yes.
So, okay, I have all but like 1 or 3.
And it is one of those things, though, too, that, I mean, I think that, just ask the person when you're buying it, or it can be part of your process while you're reviewing it when you're purchasing them. Other questions? Go ahead, Sheldon.
Let's say the doe is yours and you buy a buck that's branded. Does that count for me or no? Does it count for me? Well, if you want it branded,
Yes.
and let's say you buy one that has 2 legs,
Yes.
and then when you show it, they get the 3rd leg. Is that okay? Or do I have to start all over again?
Okay, so his question is, so his question is, if I went out and I purchased a rabbit that has 2 legs, and then I show it and I get it a 3rd leg on it, is it eligible for a grand champion? Yes. And the answer to that question is yes. That you would be eligible. That rabbit is eligible to be a grand champion as long as it meets those extra things of it's a senior and that it has won a senior or leg, and as well as being more than one judge and that extra criteria. Yes. So yes. Typically, when a person is selling a rabbit, if they say it has a leg on it, I would say the common norm is to provide the leg with it.
If they sold it and didn't give you the leg, you could either ask them for the leg or you'd have to start over.
So her question is that if the breeder that you bought it from said they had legs, but they didn't give it to you, and then you got its 3rd leg in the example we were providing, what would you be eligible for grand champion? And the answer is no. There's
No. So ARBA doesn't keep track of the legs. That's for the breeders to do. If you use Easy to Show, you can go back and get your legs from the other shows and print them off, but that's just in your files. Once they leave, the ARBA's not going to reprint them for you.
Yeah, so it's something that when you're purchasing the rabbits, make sure you get those legs. Other questions? All right. Well, thank you, Beth, for doing this. I really appreciate it.